Yeah.
And that's why we need each other and we need God. Because without that, you can make some horrible mistakes. But God is good. And we are here because we believe that as we are facing hostility. Brother, my son Olalekon can tell you that, and some of you know, this way they're attacking our families. And Pastor Chika has been a real, she's been a real support. We need to get the skills so that nobody pushes us about. There's no perfect family in this world. Nobody pushes us about and takes our children away and then fills their heads with nonsense. And then there'll be broken people going forward. So we owe it to ourselves to educate ourselves, which is what, thanks to Pastor Chika and Olaleko and Esther, thanks to you, we are doing it now. We have to learn, and you have to tell people about this course, that we need to improve it together. But it's a basis of us saving African families.
We talked about understanding values, how you must intentionally communicate the value to your family members in a clear, transparent way. No assumptions whatsoever. That it must be, your values must be enforceable. It must be communicated in an assertive way. And also you review it from time to time. And if possible, rehearse it every now and then as children grow up. The value you tell them today, in 1 year's time, 2 years' time, some of them are slipping apart, or you may have had more values based on what is going on. So make sure you review them. Now, let's look at number one. If Esther, if you bring back the program, the menu, the number one, creating a conducive atmosphere in your home, we looked at work balance parenting. Work balance parenting is all about the act of being present. The act of being present. We must learn how to be present. Don't let chocolate be the conducive atmosphere for your children. Don't let game and TV be the conducive atmosphere, because they can get TV somewhere else. They can get chocolate somewhere else. They can get all those things. But your presence is very important. The job is important. The money is important. But you must look at it in the round. How does it impact my child? Last week, I think Auntie Nana gave us another side to it. Maybe you have somebody else who can help. But I'm not saying completely stop your job, but make sure that as you're taking up your job or business, always learn that act of being present. Even if it's 1 hour you are present in the life of your children, it must be quality. It must be quality time, a quality time of bonding, interacting, listening, and look for fun projects, yes, as a family, to create that bonding atmosphere. So it's all about having that conducive atmosphere where a child feels fulfilled. In fact, the best word I can use is a child sees her home as a safe haven, like the fish sees water as their safe haven. Let your child, as long as they are still young, feel that your home is their safe haven, where they feel safe, they feel protected, they can have whatever they need, they have confidence, they can speak their mind without being excessive, without being rude. Now, how do you get that balance? How do you get to a point where you are spot on with your being present in the life of your children? You can apply it to your relationship with your spouse. It's very important to be present in the life of anybody who is important to you. It is more than money or gift you are giving to people. The gift of your presence. When we say presence, I'm not talking of necessarily standing before somebody. Okay, I'm at home today. Children, I'm off today, I'm at home. Then you are on your phone 24 hours. Then you are on the phone with another sister, chatting and chatting and chatting. That's not what we are talking about. Being present in their life is, you make them priority, give them time where you prioritize them to understand how they react, so that you can go out and say, I know my child. And they tell you, my child said that. You can say, no, I know my child. My child cannot use that word. And the people will say, you are so true. She didn't say that. It takes you being present to understand really your child properly. Now, how do you get to that? It is to prioritize what is important and not what is urgent. To prioritize what is important and not what is urgent. There are so many things that are very urgent. It could be urgent. Your friend may have a birthday party. Let's say the lockdown is over and your friend has a birthday party coming up next Saturday. That is very urgent. You are preparing for that. But is it very important compared to your child telling you that I need help with my assignments? I need help with that. With your child who you want to go out and that child says, oh, mommy, oh, how will you stay more with us? So it's very important we prioritize. So you have to take time to make time for your children. Take time to make time for your children, parents. Let's take time to make time for our children. Because if we don't do that, children feel that they are nuisance. Because at times we think our children are nuisance to us. When you don't have a child, you are crying, Lord, I don't need my own children. Then when they come, because the children are always seeking for attention. You know how you sit down, say, okay, everybody sit down, and they sit down. And one of them just jumps up and starts jumping on the bed. All they're trying to do is to get your attention, to just, get that attention where you say, wow, this child, you are so exuberant. You are just so lovely. Some of us say, you this naughty child, sit down there. We are looking at them as nuisance. And meanwhile, they are not nuisance. They just want to see you praise them. Do you know in school, they praise the children so well? If they answer a question very well, the teacher takes time to praise them, at times give them something. If they do something kind, they speak to them like that. How many times do we speak those words to our children when they do little things? Or do we assume that is what they're supposed to do? Oh, you wash the dishes. Okay, you wash the dishes, that's fine. No, yeah, it is normal, but that appreciation goes a long way. So we shouldn't treat the children as nuisance, because their life, they are active, they like acting exuberant. It shouldn't be seen as a disturbance. We should create that time, be present